was the only thing constantly I was thinking, am I being stupid or funny? Is this funny enough or is this stupid enough? The pressure is of standing out, definitely. But there's also pressure to be one amongst them and matching the meter, yeah? When we were doing those scenes with Sanju and him and me, we just constantly kept saying sorry to each other. I don't think I was a very ambitious person. I didn't think I was going to go places. I was quite happy, like, you know, I'd get married and like just have a good time. I never had a vision for myself. I think it's very important to not just, cinema should not just be for entertainment alone. I did say no to Gangster for Anurag Basu, yeah. I refused Tanu Waits Manu.
This is Nawaz Kochra joining you on screen, and I am in conversation with the very amazing Chitrangda Singh.
Thank you,
Hello,
Nawaz.
how are you?
Very well, Nawaz. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely. And I have to firstly tell you, I'm very sorry I've not seen the B version where you've actually done some hardcore action.
Damn.
But, you know, congratulations, the film is doing commercially quite well.
Thank you so much.
It's gotten mixed responses. However, you know, I want to know that, you know, you were the first one to get cast for the part, for the film. That time, you know, what was the narration? What was the brief? Did you know that who else were the part?
So, you know, I had never met Tarun before, our director. Never. But we had sometime, I think he saw some of my work and he messaged me. That was all that we kind of knew of each other. And then I got called for the part, and I said, but you know, I've never done comedy, especially I've never done anything like this. And I knew there's a certain format. There are already these 3 girls and there's a whole thing going. So what would it be for me? You know, I had all these questions. And then they gave me a narration and they told me how this is going to be different because it's not just a comedy. It's also going to be a bit of a thriller aspect to it. And then you're going to be part of the twists and turns in it. And it'll be a very different part from what there is been for girls usually in Housefull franchise.
Right.
So that I thought was interesting. Film was still in development at that time. Likhi ja rahi thi, was screenplay was getting detailed and everything. But they gave me a whole idea what the film was. So I said okay, and then I met Sajid. After I said okay to it, and Sajid then told me, he's like, do you know Tarun really well? He's a friend of yours. I said, I've never met him before. I just said, hi, I'm Chitrangda, and we kind of introduced ourselves. And he said, well, yours was the first name to go up on the board.
Wow.
And Maya was actually called Chitra. And then it was later called Maya because Chitra didn't fit in at all. But yeah, I'm so grateful to Tarun to think of me in a film like this, in something that I've never done before. I've never attempted before. But the fact that he could imagine me in this is quite amazing. And you're waiting for directors to imagine you in parts which are different than what you've done, which he did. And he said, yeah, he's like, in fact, I told him कि कैसे करेगी, मतलब अभी तक तो उसने ऐसा कुछ काम किया नहीं है comedy में. But he was very convinced that, you know, she'd be the right, and that's Maya, and Chitrangda is who I want for it. So yeah, here I am sitting and talking about it.
Amazing. But were you aware of the 2 climaxes of the film in the beginning?
Not in the beginning.
Okay.
But I think this is something that they were very sure of right from the beginning, which we were not aware of. The actors probably weren't. But this was in the process. I think Sajid had this idea that from way before, you know, and then I think as we started shooting, they started to work on it, and they felt that it'd be exciting because the characters were developing and becoming more interesting. So he felt that we should have to, yeah.
Amazing. Also, you know, doing action, what was the challenge?
So the funny thing was that I believe a lot of people, before doing wired stuff and things like that, there's a little bit of a session that you do, like a training session or a practice. So I didn't get a chance to do that. So we were doing it on set, everything. Where do you get padded? How do you fall? How do you do this? And the action team wasn't so sure, you know, because there's Nana and there's all this action going, thrown and whatever, all of that. So I said, nahi hai time, because it was so much getting shot, and we shot for so long, so many days. So I was on set and everything happened on set, but it happened so fast. Like, that was the best part. That's when I was like, wow. this is good. I'm a natural at this, you know. Even they were very happy because like the form is correct and you're falling in the right way and you're kicking the right way. And I've done a little bit of kickboxing. I mean, I'm not like some major, you know, I'm not that good at it, but it somehow really fell together and I had such a great time doing it. Screaming, shouting. It was like I was venting. Sorry, I was venting something out, you know. It was like, I don't know, I never thought I'd enjoy it so much. I had such a great time. So yeah, for me, that's been a highlight because I've never done comedy and I did that, and I've never done action and I did that. And yeah, I wish I could do something.
But what was tougher, comedy or action?
Comedy.
Okay.
I think action flew, like it was much easier. I guess we're all good at beating up people. We all get good at it. Absolutely. You know, it's easier to do that than doing comedy. Yes.
But what was the challenge when it came to doing comedy?
You know, so it's very difficult to land a funny expression at the right time, to get that timing, to understand कि अभी इसने कुछ बोला, and then where is the camera, and when is it coming to me, and when am I reacting to it? Sometimes you don't even understand that so well in such a big cast. Absolutely. You know, so you have to be very aware of where you're standing, when to react, when are you getting caught on the camera, when you're not being caught on the camera. So I felt that was a little challenging for me. Also, how Chunky is reacting because of Akhri Pasta ka character to how Maya is and what should be my level of reaction and not look stupid. Because Maya is a different person.
Yeah, and I think
so it's very difficult to match
a certain
it.
seriousness to her.
Yes, yes.
So you know that I think so the judgment was tough.
Yeah, that's what, like, and it's very difficult to look at yourself from outside. Ki kitna kya kar rahe ho? Are you looking stupid? Like that was the only thing constantly I was thinking. Am I being stupid or funny? Is this funny enough or is this stupid enough? Like what is it? So yeah, that's just what it was.
Amazing, and you know. So one thing that you know has also with Housefull, what's happened is that a lot of mixed reactions have come to the film. Especially one major objection that has been there is about objectification of the female characters in the film. What do you have to say about it? What is your take on it?
Well, I've been saying that, and this is something that. It's not like we are immune to the reaction. Of course, everybody's sitting and taking stock of what people feel. But I just feel that sometimes a lot of things get a little harshly judged.
Okay.
Because you also have to look at what is the humor of this film. Certain things can be offensive and some things are humorous. So it depends whether you... So like I was just saying, like everything these days is so censored, is so sanitized that you cannot offend somebody morally, politically, socially, even gender-wise, men, women. It's so difficult to toe that line that a lot of times the humor gets lost, I feel, Again, like I'm not defending the film. Everyone has opinions, must have, because everyone has their own sense of... I suppose modesty, But मुझको ऐसा लगता है कि ये फिल्म का जो टोन है, जो इसका ह्यूमर है, जो इसका मीटर है, वो एक तरह का है. If you go and enjoy it with that, mindset, like you would go and watch a Pink Panther series for that exam, or even Police Academy, the old classic, those kind of films, they all have a certain tone. But if you start to censor it so much and edit it so much, I don't know how much of it is left. Of course, we are in an adult world and we would imagine people who are going and watching will understand the humor, and take it in that vein, without getting offended, is what I feel. Yeah.
Also, with so many actors being around, in a film, does it also add on to the pressure of, having your mark or, being like the performance being so strong that it gets noticed? Does that pressure come in?
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. The pressure is of standing out, definitely. But there's also pressure to be one amongst them and matching the meter, yeah? Like, आप ऐसा नहीं है कि आप कहीं कुछ और ही कर रहे हो. You don't even match the rest of the people. I think that is also very important. Because it's not like just because Maya is slightly serious, wo itni zyada serious hai that she's like, I'm sorry, you're not even in the same film. You know, you should look like you're in the film. So I think both of that is very important. So, and then beyond that, you trust the director,
Absolutely.
you know, to do his job because he's cast you.
And you know, one very interesting twist in the film was that your character was actually Jackie Shroff's ex-wife.
Yes.
And nobody was, like, at least when I was watching the film, in the farthest of my imaginations, that was something nobody could connect the dots to.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah,
even I started laughing when I heard the script. I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
But having scenes with Jaggu Dada, how was that like?
He's so funny. He is so funny, and he's such a gentleman. My God. So that's what I was just telling somebody, that, you know, when we were doing those scenes with Sanju and him and me, we just constantly kept saying sorry to each other, because it was such a like a flirty scene, and it was so, like, you know, over the top a little bit, because that's, again, like I said, that's the meter. That's the kind of humor it was, you know. He kept saying, can I do this? Oh, is this, I'm sorry. Or if I did something, I said, is that okay? I'm sorry. Everybody just kept saying that to each other, you know, because they're such gentlemen, both of them, and they're such gentle people, and they are so funny, and they're such studs, and they're such personalities. Oh my God. Like, the minute the camera came on, I was like, he would just sit like this and be such a, like, Jackie. And he's such a personality. So is Sanju. So I really had the pressure to keep up with it, you know, and perform, and yeah, like, kind of stand out a little bit, I suppose.
Yes. You know, while the character and the, you know, the comedy, the action had its challenges, shooting on a cruise was another challenge, is what I have learned.
God. And I'm seasick. I don't.
Oh my God.
Yes. And this was the first cruise I was on ever in my life.
Okay.
Because I do not like cruises. So no events, nothing, no parties have I ever gone on a cruise, ever. And here we were for almost close to 20 days, over 20 days on a cruise, with some very sick nights. And like I was just telling you that, you know, this 2-3 days, it was so bad. We got hit by a storm. It was, I don't know what they called it, some degree of it, mujhe pata nahi, some degree it was. And everybody was throwing up. So there was this, there was the second level or the third level, I don't know which level it was, where the whole corridor was full of.
Okay.
So nobody wanted to go on that floor, because it was smelling of just that. You know, it was so bad. Like, just to think of going to the loo, I had to think about it, because, you know, you had to really, like, hold stuff and then get to it. And yeah, it was an experience nobody will forget.
But, you know, when you all were not shooting on those days, please tell me you enjoyed the cruise.
Yeah, we enjoyed, because, you know, every 2 days we would stop somewhere. Okay. So we would get off. So we were in France for a couple of stops, and then we went to Spain, and then we were, I think, Ireland or Scotland, somewhere. We also stopped there. So yeah, it was fun. We got off and we had a great time. Then we'd come back, shoot a little bit, because not everybody was shooting together. Sometimes somebody is, you know, in batches.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. We would have dinners together, stories, endless stories. Fardeen had so many stories of his father. Wow. And Sajid was full of stories. So we've really had these story sessions, actually.
Amazing.
After
that is
the
so
meals,
interesting.
yeah, after meals, Abhishek full of stories. Akshay, of course, but he would sleep early. He was the first one to wind up and go. His khana will finish at 6:30. But yeah, I mean, I just got to know all these people, and there's just it was wonderful.
Absolutely. And you know, it's been a very interesting journey for you. If I'm not wrong, Hazaaron Khwaishein Aisi released in 2005.
That's right.
So it's been 20 years to your debut film. This is the
very quick 20 years.
April the film had released in 2005, and this April it's completed.
Oh my God,
years.
yeah. Wow.
You know, it's been very quick 20 years, but very remarkable also.
Oh,
because I know for a fact that every director you worked with, the director has been so amazing. They come with a certain, you know, credibility to themselves, and you have been always, you know, termed as the director's actor, for that matter.
Yeah.
When you look back at your journey, you know, how happy does it make you, firstly?
when I look back, I feel I've got far more than I expected.
Okay.
Far more than I expected. Because, and I really mean it. I'm not trying to sound, anything. But, so I remember way back, like when we were all kids and, like in school I'm talking, way back. And my mother asked me something, my father asked me, like, what do you think you can be? Aisa kuch pucha unhone mujhse. And I said, I want to buy a car that has automatic windows.
Okay.
Where you press and like this would go up and this would come down and the roof will go like that, Some movie I must have watched as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I really feel like I don't think I was a very ambitious person. I didn't think I was going to go places. I was quite happy, like, I'd get married and like just have a good time. I never had a vision for myself. So I really feel that everything is so much more than I expected. And having taken those long breaks, I mean, you're saying 20 years, but I think after that, 7, 8, 9 years of break in between.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's been huge breaks in between that. So literally 11 years of working time is what I've done. And people didn't forget me, didn't forget my work. You sit and still be sitting here and talking of my first film, which was 20 years back. And I feel like so grateful, yeah. Matlab,
absolutely.
Very quick 20 years, yeah.
And the reason why I also brought up Hazaaron Khwaishein Aisi, that film is a cult. Okay, yes. It's a classic, and it was your debut film. It was a political drama, which was so amazing. Do you think today we can have a film like that made in India, or have the audience see it?
Look, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have an answer for that. But I wish films like that get made, because
absolutely.
I think it's very important to not just, cinema should not just be for entertainment alone. There are films to entertain, and then there should be films about certain matters which need to go on record, go in history, totally. As cinema history. I wish we do more political films.
Totally. Also, in this journey, you've taken your share of breaks and all. Was those conscious choices that you made, or were there no good offers coming? What
Both.
Was okay.
Both of them. I mean, yes, the first 7 years were definitely because of my personal life and my commitment to that. I had a son, and I came back, and then I took another 2 years off in between because I was going through some rough patch in my personal life again. But then in between that, also back and forth. Yes, I did not have the kind of work that I was looking for coming my way. So I decided to not, because I was also going through my own emotional sort of ups and downs, and I didn't want to do stuff that I wouldn't be happy doing. So I'd rather not work. So there was all of that, roller coasters of life that were going on at that point. That's all of that, I think, because of which I didn't do as much work I probably would have wanted to do, to be fair. It's not like I chose to not do. Yeah.
Right. But were there also some films, you said no to, and then those films went on to become big?
Absolutely. I have made those mistakes. I did say no to Gangster for Anurag Basu. Yeah. I refused Tanu Waits Manu, Mangal Pandey.
Oh my God.
Amisha's part.
Acha, okay.
Amisha's part. No, not the other one. Yes. And then I think I'm forgetting one more in between that I said no to. And then there was a Chalte Chalte, which I just wasn't around at all for that time.
The Rani Mukherjee Shah Rukh Khan one.
Yeah, because I think they ran into some trouble or whatever. Something was going on, and Shah Rukh said that at that point we desperately wanting to, and then you had come, and Saeed Mirza had loved your work, in that film, and we were looking for you. And I think Juhi Chawla's brother, Bobby, or somebody was looking for your number because they were part of the film, produced or something like that. So we worked on some ad film together when he was telling me all this. So. Yeah.
But then, the choices you've made also, the films you've been a part of, everything is stood out. Every character, people, like I remember, fans are so crazy for, Chitrangda and Akshay's pairing especially.
Yeah, I keep telling him that. Please tell him that.
So,
yes.
That's also, so, the work that you've done has also been, always loved, always credited. But in our industry also, what happens is at times, Bollywood tends to stereotype actresses especially of a certain age. Ever faced a stereotype like that?
I mean, they may not come up and tell me so, but I'm sure there is a thought somewhere that they think of. But I don't know. I mean, I feel whether it is Kareena today or it is, say, even Vidya or Kajol, I feel like all these actresses, because it's a visual medium, and as long as you're convincing enough playing a certain character, I don't think age really matters to that extent. I don't think audiences come in looking at, oh, when were you born? As long as you look correct on screen and you play that character, convincingly. So I don't think it's to that extent. It's not that serious like it used to be, like during Sharmila ji and all these people, how they had to just almost stop working. I don't think she did though. But some actresses had to give up work. Oh, you're married and that's it. So yeah, I don't think we've definitely done better now.
Totally. Also, becoming a parent, a mother, has that changed your approach to the craft also? Like, certain, the way you, probably perceive films or, pick up roles for that matter. Has that ever happened?
I don't know about picking up roles as such, but I mean, being a parent or not being a parent, I think I've always done what I feel comfortable doing.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, I'm a parent now. I definitely like to keep my personal life very personal and not bring that in. But I don't think that has affected my choices of work that I've done.
Amazing.
That hasn't at all, ever. No.
Absolutely. And I hear you next is a out-and-out commercial for boiler.
Well, I believe so too. Well, but till the fat lady sings. So we will let it happen and let it get announced, and then I will talk about it.
But is there anything else also that is in the pipeline?
But there is conversation for another one as well going on. But I think it's still a while, still scripting going on, and for them to come in like maybe September, late September, maybe something like that probably, yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much for talking to us. It is always a pleasure connecting with you.
Yes, it's lovely. Always chatting with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.